Eurocentric delusionalism is at an all-time high. Eurocentric delusionalism is at an all-time high. Eurocentric delusionalism is at an all-time high. Welcome to the Forefront Radio. I'm your host, Afia Levi. At a presidential rally, you had Elon Musk, a very prominent advisor to the president, that was literally placing the Hail Hydra in front of everyone to see. I want to get your thoughts on it because we're getting Eurocentric delusionalists on X and on various other platforms actually substantiating what he was doing and saying he in fact was doing the Hail Hydra salute. So if you're not familiar with Hail Hydra, it comes from the characters off of Red Skull, which is associated with the movie from Captain America. Captain America, at the time when he became a superhero, was fighting against the Swazies. And we know that the movie had people saying Hail Hydra in the movie as an homage to the World War II fascists that were in rulership at the time. So now you have a presidential rally where one of the top advisors now, a billionaire by the name of Elon Musk, who grew up in South Africa, a place well known for apartheid, a place well known for having practices against the majority black population in the country, now having his Hail Hydra salute in front of everyone to witness. Let's get your thoughts on it. What do you think about this thing? Do you think America is in trouble? Do you think America is in trouble? Do you think that many people are going to be at risk? Because number one, you see him doing this salute. Number two, you're seeing various things that are rolling back against various demographics in the United States. You also see the push of extreme nationalism from the Christian right. And it's very disturbing that even on his website X, many of the proponents of their ideology are backing Elon Musk up and saying, yes, he did salute. Yes, he did associate himself in front of the entire world. In front of the entire world. Welcome to the Forefront Radio. I'm your host, Afia Levi, where we go over biblical-based commentary as well as prophetic events. And a lot of times when we see things, we fail to see how it relates to prophecy. Prophecy forewarned that the second beast of Revelation, right, chapter 13, would profess itself to be a lamb, but speak like a dragon. And if you notice, there are various draconian measures being implemented with executive orders, rules being changed, right? Administrative duties being changed, right? Laws being passed under the cover of executive orders to diminish things that have been established for years. For example, recently, there was an executive order to remove federally backed contracts to so-called minority communities, right? Meaning Blacks, Hispanics, Asians that applied for government contracts with the federal government because of Lyndon Baines Johnson's executive order to passage, Shalom, hope you're doing all right, during 1964, the current person in charge, number 47, he repealed that through his executive order, and now many lawsuits are underway, and you also have a judge that is saying that is unconstitutional. So I went up and looked up some of the statistics, right? And we find out, Shalom, hope you're doing well, that only 1.3% of contracts from so-called African American communities are even accepted in the United States. So to repeal so-called DEI initiatives, to repeal that back through an executive order when the very purpose behind the Lyndon Baines Johnson executive order was in fact the Jim Crow situation where minority communities were not able to acquire jobs and contracts due to the open, blatant, passive aggressive and open, you know, bias towards individuals of a different demographic than the quote unquote majority population. Then we see the current person in chief, number 47, saying, I'm going to affiliate myself with Elon. While you're examining the X and many of the very staunch advocates of the right are very harsh towards this so-called DIE situation, basically against affirmative action and against anything that applies to anything outside of their perspective. It's very concerning when the individual named Elon Musk that has a company responsible for creating big brain chips, right, also is the one that's holding hands with the current commander in chief. And then on top of that, giving you the Hail Hydra salute. Now, I'm not saying that the microchips in the brain is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying that. But I find it very suspicious, very odd for the person that's responsible for brain chips to be walking hand in hand. Shalom to you. Hope you're doing well with the current president. At the same time, number 47 is passing executive orders, like closing down the borders. You think closing down the borders is to keep people from getting in? Oh, no, 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 no. It's to keep you from getting out. You see, a cage works both ways. When you have a gate, right? A gate is responsible for keeping things out and keeping things in. What's going to happen if you decide to say, I don't agree with some of the policies that's going on here. I want to leave. And then they say, I'm sorry, no, you can't. You don't have the proper paperwork because people forget the past. Back in 2021, back in the former presidency, when the individual known as 47 was number 45, he passed travel bans. He passed travel bans, and people forget that was part of his administrative practice back when he was responsible before. So now the same guy is saying, let's make a wall. Let's now listen close, y'all. I listened very closely to his discussion where he had his inauguration address. And he said he will identify people of other nations, right? So-called cartels, so-called cartels, so-called gangs. He started to say, we're going to classify them as terrorist organizations. It was 2 years ago that I told people that the war on terror is gonna turn to a war against minorities. People didn't believe me. They say Forefront Radio, you're making theories. Now I heard the inauguration where he specifically said he's gonna target and exterminate those involved with cartels and those involved with gangs, whether foreign or domestic, meaning in inner cities. So that means somebody could accuse you of being in a gang, and instead of getting a RICO charge or a gang charge, now they're going to say you're a terrorist. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you better wake up. And people of other communities too. You need to wake up and smell the coffee of the reality of the matter. Elon Musk giving the Hail Hydra salute, the commander-in-chief now setting up executive orders against certain groups for laws that have been in place since the 1960s. And now more government control. I thought he was coming in to diminish government control. I thought he was coming in to diminish government censorship, right? Because on TikTok, he said, hey, I'm going to let you TikTokers say what you want to say, right? If you don't realize Babylon is fallen and this is biblical-based prophecy, I can't help you. Thank you for listening to the Forefront Radio. Just wanted to give you a quick news update about what's going on. Your man, Elon Musk, is going Hail Hydra in front of the American public, and nobody's paying attention. If you don't have your passports, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get one. Peace to the 12.